Yo, what's up guys, it's Lost Griff. Welcome back to another video. Today's video, I'm gonna be talking about something that's heavily debated in the community right now, and something that I feel like is very needed to be talked about, and I want to put this in a very straightforward and clear way, while also showing my experience, just being in the gaming community, watching a lot of games go up and down in terms of popularity. I wanted to talk about what I think the state of Multiversus is right now and where I think it'll go in the future. But before I begin this video, I'd really appreciate if you guys could go drop a sub and maybe even drop a like if you enjoy the video. I really do appreciate all the support I get, and I'm trying to get 3K subs, so if you could help me out, I'd really appreciate that. Anyway, let's get into the video. Alright, so Multiversus isn't dying. It's in a decline. That's a better way to put it. And the reason why I think people use the term dying is it's one of the most clickable terms of all time. Like, I could literally say, oh, CSGO is dying, and then I could go look at the Steam charts and they'd be down 1K players. Ultimately, it's pretty unfair to say a player base's game base is dying unless you have extremely clear evidence, and I just do not think that's happening at all with a game like Multiversus. Platform fighters have always been a game type that's been played on a very casual level. I can't really think of many people, whenever you ask them about, oh, do you play Smash Bros, they'll probably say, oh, you know, I used to play it, or I played this one, or, you know, it's a fun game, but I don't play it that much. And that's kind of just how a lot of people feel about platform fighters. I don't really run into many people who main a platform fighter as their main game. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a much smaller community than people, for example, who strictly play FPS games like Valorant, like CSGO, or people that play specifically survival games like Rust, Ark, etc. So it's the same deal with platform fighters. It's a much more niche genre, and it's a niche genre inside a niche genre, which is fighting games. So naturally, if you know anything about the fighting game genre, you know that a game like Multiversus, that the popularity expanded to, was definitely not going to stay around that long. I mean, it was already incredible how many players it had within just a few weeks. There's a lot of factors that was going to lead to it, you know, slowing down by quite a bit. And one of these main factors is definitely the timing. I mean, obviously, whenever you go from July, August to the fall, whenever a lot of people either go back to school, just overall gameplay does drop a little bit in the September and November months. I mean, it just makes sense. Of course, people are going to be playing games all day whenever it's the summer, because, you know, a large majority of people who have a lot of time to spend on games or videos or whatever is usually kids or teenagers, right? So that people going back to school obviously was going to already have a smaller impact on the amount of people playing. Other reason why I don't think it's dying is I believe that it was already at an extremely high expectations and just a high spot. Everybody was kind of infatuated with the game. What I'm saying is that whenever everybody you turn to is playing a game, you're gonna play it too. And obviously, as less people got interested in it, and as people started to be like, okay, I want to go back to my shooter games, I'm gonna go play CSGO, I'm gonna go play Grand Theft Auto, I'm gonna go play, I don't know. What I'm saying is that platform fighters are not as compelling of a genre to keep that kind of player base stuck with them. I mean, even whenever you look at a game like Smash that's only on one console, but it's an extremely refined game with so much content and a lot of amazing characters to play and good soundtracks and just a lot of stuff to explore. It's a shame that such an amazing genre is limited to only one console, which is the Switch. Of course, you do have Brawlhalla, but me personally, Brawlhalla never really held my attention for that long. I only managed to get about like 100 something hours over the span of playing it since its release. Don't get me wrong, that's a lot, but for someone who's always been so interested in fighting games and even platform fighters as well, that is definitely a low amount for me to be playing a game. I've always wanted a good PC platform fighter to come out besides Brawlhalla that would continue to push Smash and Brawlhalla to compete. Because obviously Brawlhalla and Smash, I just don't think are on the same level popularity wise. I know that Multiversus is the perfect formula. Not only do we have a lot of attractive characters that definitely pull people in, but we also have some pretty interesting gameplay mechanics, 2 game modes that I think really compel a sizable amount of both sides. It's not only free, but also crossplay, so it's extremely accessible and easy to play with friends. Small file size as well, so it's not even like it's a long download. Here you have a really accessible, fun, and interesting platform fighter on every single console except Switch. What could possibly go wrong? Well, a few things. The biggest problem with Multiversus right now is easily the servers, and then second up would definitely be the hitboxes. Obviously, this is something people have beaten the absolute dead horse out of in their Multiversus is dying video, so I won't even go to detail about how bad the servers are, but this has stopped a lot of people from playing. But I do think people need to understand that there is a lot of timing and also a lot of other things that go into it. A lot of people kind of like Andy from Toy Story are just waiting for the next thing. You know, the scene where he's like, I don't want to play with you anymore, and drops his toy. Like, literally, that's exactly what people are like with gaming nowadays. Even if your game is free and crossplay, it's hard to hold the attention of many people. How many games have we seen that go in and out of relevance and never really come back from that? I just think people need to give Multiversus time to stabilize, because I know that it'll end up at the same popularity level, probably around or a little bit above Brawlhalla. Ultimately, it's just a matter of when. And right now, it's in a big decline, just mostly because of the issues people have mentioned. But I just really do feel like these are issues that are fleeting. I haven't really had anybody complain about issues that are generally fundamentals, which makes me think, what stops people from coming back? I could see this game easily climbing to going from 6,000 right now to maybe even 25,000 average on Steam charts if it just does the fixes people are asking for. And I know that they're working on this, and that's why I have hope. I just think it's ridiculous to say a game could possibly die under this kind of market. It would take game devs years to finally give up on low statistics or low performance, especially when you have a game like this with extremely passionate devs. So I just don't think Multiversus could ever die. I mean, whenever you look back at a game like No Man's Sky, of course, whenever it went from 36,000 to 2,000 average players, it was on a decline. But ultimately, over these past few years, the committed devs have managed to get it to an average of about 5,000 to 7,000 players, which is something I feel like most devs would love to be able to do. Just because a game drops from its massive peak doesn't mean it's dying and doesn't mean it's dead. A very archaic way to look at it, in my opinion. And I think it's a great way to clickbait people to ride the wave of Multiversus is dead. I mean, whenever you look at Twitter, it's pretty much going to be one guy who's like, Multiversus is actually dying. Like, thanks, Captain Obvious. Nobody can maintain 1 million concurrent players. Are you kidding me? Overall, I think just people need to understand the actual reality of the situation. Having 6,000 players on Steam, which isn't even the most popular form of how people play the game. People have it on Epic Games, which is another place you can play it at. They have it on PS4, PS5, and also on both Xboxes. Like, I don't understand how you can look at that and really think the game is dying. I mean, even if it does maintain just 6,000 active players, this is a game that will have a thriving base of players and can easily compete with the numbers of Brawlhalla and Smash, as long as they just keep creating updates for the game and keep fixing the game. I'm sick of Multiversus creators not only claiming their own game is dying and blaming it on things that honestly aren't even the biggest problems. I'm also sick of other people doing it too. I do feel like there's a lot of news sources out there prey on the fall of games like this. I really do feel like a game like Multiversus really deserves the attention and support of all the people playing it because of how amazing of an effort they're making to make the game better. Also, if this isn't an obvious enough fact, the game is in beta. I mean, name me a rough draft essay you've written in your life that you read back and were like, yeah, this rough draft sounds good. Like, of course you're gonna have issues with it. This game is in beta for a reason. I think they wanted to have it playable to people as soon as possible, especially because there was such a massive game drought in terms of how little games are coming out, and now we're getting all these games coming out at once. Overwatch 2, Omega Strikers was one of them for a while, Gundam Evolution as well. Just a lot of games are starting to come out, and of course people's attention are going to be pulled to other places, especially now with the Overwatch 2 stuff going on. I just think those who really do enjoy this game, don't lose hope for what could happen. We're still in beta. Don't completely keep that in mind. There hasn't even been a cosmetic system fully released or a guild system fully released. So obviously we're in a very early stage. As long as we keep seeing these amazing updates and these committed devs, I really don't think Multiverse is going to die anytime soon. And I really do think it'll stabilize at about 5,000 to 7,000 on Steam, and which is only 1/4 of the viewer base we can look at. We know that it'll stabilize a lot more around now, and I really do feel like it can definitely keep the attention of 5,000 to 7,000 active people on Steam. Let me know what your guys' thoughts is on what Multiversus maybe could have done better in terms of release. If you guys think they shouldn't have done a beta, and what you guys think about the future of Multiversus, if it may be the next platform fighter, and if it'll make the comeback people are hoping for. Thank you guys so much for coming by today's video. I appreciate you guys supporting it, and if you guys want more content like this, I want to make a lot more commentary related to Multiversus. So if you want more of that, make sure you drop a sub, and also if you could real quick drop a like to help the algorithm, that would be amazing. Really appreciate you guys being here, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.